Live from Arkansas's breaking news leader, Fox 16 News at 9 starts now.
Missing for more than 24 hours, search crews in Stone County find a 3-year-old boy who disappeared. Good evening. I'm Donna Terrell.
I'm Kevin Kelly. As Fox 16's Dustin Barnes shows us, search crews found Landon Trammell by a creek bed about a half mile from the staging area for the search.
He was happy to see a small bag of Cheetos that we had found, only brought with us, and glad to see a bottle of water.
Little Landon Trammell didn't realize Forestry Officer Brandon Taylor's excitement to hand over some chips and water. After all, he made up a group of nearly 300 searchers who looked for the boy nearly 30 hours.
His first words to me, I asked him what he was doing, and he said, "I'm playing."
Taylor says Landon talked and even answered questions.
He was actually sitting in the water and playing, looked like he was building mud pies.
But little does Landon know all the effort that went into looking for him. Professional and volunteer searchers spent hours combing through dense, rugged terrain like sticks, briars, and yes, even creatures just to find him.
We're here at the gravel pit, fixing to head in.
The search began yesterday morning. The boy's mom left him at home with his grandfather. After some time passed, the grandfather couldn't find the boy in the home and alerted police. Searchers got the news over scanners, came back to the staging area to celebrate.
So happy.
You know, you think about, well, what could have happened to the child? He's out all night. We looked till after midnight last night, and then for him to be found today, it's just fantastic.
We're told the boy only had scratches, but he's been brought here to the Stone County Medical Center to be checked out. Family members didn't want to go on camera, but they say they are glad that he's doing well. In Stone County, Dustin Barnes, Fox 16 News.
Here is the Fox 16 bottom line. The Stone County Sheriff's Department says a Morgan Nick Amber alert was never issued for Landon Trammell because this case did not meet the criteria. State police look at the child's age and do what they call a threat assessment to determine if the child could be facing imminent harm.
The Little Rock Technology Park Authority Board is now considering 23 different sites for the proposed tech park. This after public outcry that the 3 original locations would have displaced people from their homes. New at 9, Fox 16's Caroline Whiteman explains the next step in this process. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Donna. Well, the 23 sites up for consideration are divided into 3 categories: West, East, and Midtown. The board identified the criteria to narrow their location down to 3 or 4 by the next meeting. But homeowners in the original 3 proposed locations, they're still skeptical the board will move forward with any of the new sites.
Nothing's new, nothing's changed.
Homeowners from the original 3 neighborhoods considered for the Little Rock Tech Park don't have high hopes the authority board will change its mind. That's despite the board having 23 new locations to choose from.
Trust is not there for me. I'm hoping, that they will pick one of the 23 sites here. They can find one that will be suitable.
The criteria for site consideration is one that is industrial or vacant near UAMS, UALR, and Arkansas Children's Hospital, with minimal impact on residents and cost effective.
So there are some that fit the category that you're talking about.
The sites will be evaluated by an engineering consulting firm, and the board plans to host multiple town hall meetings to get public input, all to whittle the 23 down to 3 or 4 by the next meeting in October.
This is a major opportunity for the city of Little Rock, and we would very much like to be sure that it is a tech park that's integrated into the academic institutions in the city so that students and faculty and startups have an opportunity to thrive.
Homeowners say they're still fearful.
I just want to get on with my life, and I want to see them pick a site. They have 23 sites to pick from, and I'm sure that they can find some besides my house. Just let me get on with my life.
Out of the 23 sites under consideration, community members who attended the meeting tonight, they seem to favor one site in particular. It's on the east side of Little Rock between 6th and 8th Streets. It's currently vacant, and homeowners say having the tech park there would be a huge benefit to the community.
Well, we keep talking about this park and where it's going to be. Have any companies come forward saying, I want to be in that park?
That's what a lot of the homeowners asked tonight at the meeting. No, the board says they hope if they build it, the companies will come.
If they build it, they will come. Yes. All right.
Familiar with that, thanks.
Yeah.
New at 9, officials at the Pentagon say 2 American warships are moving towards the Libyan coast. The ships carry Tomahawk missiles, but at this time do not have a specific mission. Earlier today, President Obama delayed a campaign trip to visit State Department employees who lost 4 co-workers, including a U.S. ambassador in Libya. The State Department is now investigating whether the attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya was a planned terrorist strike to mark the anniversary of 9/11 or just a spontaneous mob enraged over an anti-Islamic YouTube video. President Obama says the U.S. will work with the Libyan government to bring to justice those who killed Ambassador Kristi and 3 other American personnel.
We will work with the Libyan government to bring to justice the killers who attacked our people.
YouTube has now blocked the video in both Egypt and Libya. The 14-minute video is a trailer to a low-budget movie entitled Innocence of Muslims, which depicts Muhammad as a philanderer who approved of child sexual abuse. U.S. Senator John Bozeman released a statement today about the embassy attacks. Bozeman says, and I quote, "I strongly condemn the senseless and heinous attack on our diplomatic corps in Libya that led to the death of 4 Americans, including Ambassador Kristi. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their families in this time of mourning. There is absolutely no excuse for these unprovoked attacks."
Now, Arkansas's certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin.
Well, today, a little bit of an increase in the humidity, not that much. Still overall pretty comfortable out there. Temperatures today in the mid-80s. Some spots, especially western Arkansas, up into the upper 80s. But notice, it's really been a few days since we've seen any 90s across central Arkansas. And you know what? Not expecting to see a whole lot of 90-degree temperatures as we go forward. As a matter of fact, probably maybe a handful more, if that, for the rest of the year. So there's some good news if you're just completely over this summer weather. Now today, not bad temperatures in the mid-80s after a rather cool and refreshing start. Now those temperatures back down to the upper 60s and low 70s. Not quite as cool as it was 24 hours ago this time last night, but still almost room temperature out there. So you still, once again, you can open up the doors or open up the windows, I should say, and let in some of that fresh air in. As we take a look at the wider satellite view, notice mostly clear skies across Arkansas, but we've been tracking a little bit of tropical moisture moving northward out of Louisiana. So as we go into tomorrow, expecting a bit more in the way of some cloud cover and also slightly higher rain chances. Also tracking a front to our northwest, and as that front draws closer, we're talking about increasing rain chances, especially as we get into Friday with a few scattered showers around, although at this point doesn't look like anything heavy and not really any sort of severe threat as far as it looks right now. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Waking up a little bit on the cloudy side if you're going to be out there early, so you may not really need those sunglasses too much going into work for tomorrow morning. And only a couple of spotty showers, and those clouds holding the temperatures down just a bit. 80 degrees by noon. Coming up in a few minutes, we're talking about a cold front heading on in, and I'll show you what changes to expect as we head into the weekend.
In the Fox 16 crime alert, a bank robbery suspect turned himself in today to Little Rock police. 26-year-old James Meeks faces aggravated robbery and theft of property. Police say Meeks and 2 other men walked into the Centennial Bank on South Broadway yesterday morning armed with at least 2 guns. The robbers jumped over the counter and took handfuls of cash. The search continues for the other 2 robbers and a 4th person who drove the getaway car. New at 9, campus police at UALR say someone stole a laptop from outside the Trojan Grill just before 5 this afternoon. According to witnesses, 2 men took the computer and ran off toward a neighborhood across 30th Street. One of the suspects was captured, and University police recovered the laptop and a gun. Tonight, the 2nd man is still at large. So if you have any information about this crime, call University police. We put the number there on the screen. It's 569-3400.
A Little Rock police officer facing felony manslaughter will soon get a notice of intent to terminate. Police spokesperson Sergeant Cassandra Davis says once Officer Josh Hastings, who you see here, is served with the notice, he can then ask for an appeal hearing. Right now, Officer Hastings is relieved of duty and on paid leave. He shot 15-year-old Bobby Moore Jr. last month while responding to a suspicious person at a Shadow Lake apartment complex. Chief Stuart Thomas says evidence from the scene contradicted Hastings' assertion that Moore was driving toward him when he fired. Hastings has pleaded not guilty.
Hudson Hallam gave his resignation to Governor Mike Beebe today.
And, you know, that's why I guess we started the strategy to just reach out and help people have a way to vote for him without having to get out and go to the poll. And, you know, that's kind of where things started falling apart.
The former state lawmaker now speaking out after pleading guilty to charges of conspiring to bribe voters.
And you are 23 times more likely to be in a crash if you're texting and driving. Coming up, why one Arkansas lawmaker wants stiffer penalties for those caught texting behind the wheel.
I'm Kelly Dudzik. Coming up on Fox 16 News at 9, I'll let you know how you can see the latest West Memphis 3 documentary without having to buy a movie ticket.
You're watching Fox 16 News at 9 with Donna Terrell, Kevin Kelly, sports with David Rath, and Arkansas's certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baskin. This is Fox 16 News at 9.